Hello, my tinfoil hatters. This is Tinfoil Hat News. There's no cussing and cursing. This video is not for kids. So, I've been hitting the gym recently, doing what I can to get myself in shape. It is summer in California. We are no longer in the doom gloom. I don't know why they call it the gloom. Obviously, those people are like, oh, it's gloomy because of the rain and the gray. You know what? You can always feel free to stick your head in the oven or come out to hellish California where the sun sucks because it feels like you're walking in a freaking oven. Because California is still a desert. With that being said, speaking of California, June 7th was the primary election, and it looks like we finally got a quick, swift kick in the nads to the extreme left. Chelsea Bodine is no longer in office, and George Soros probably is going to get killed by, Vladimir Putin. Putin's not happy with George Soros or Klaus Schwab. Though, anyway, of those two German D-bags, Klaus Schwab and George Soros, I wouldn't really care if Putin, gave him radiation poisoning. Hell, I'd be laughing my ass off. But hey, Putin's at it. Hey, also go after Pfizer. That guy is sick. But enough about that. Anyway, I came here to warn you about a very dangerous and very disturbing situation. Men, women, watch out. There's an app called the UDates app. Now, Zeus is okay, Match is okay. Those two pan out where you can actually meet somebody and talk to them. But I did my research with UDates. I found out I didn't post a picture on there. Supposedly a bunch of hot women started talking to me. Now, when I tried to issue a phone number, suddenly, we don't do that, and you got to pay extra for chats. Could we talk here for a minute? It didn't take much to find out that UDates, once I tried calling their customer service, I got no response. Then I got an email after I gave them a bad rating from a woman from India. So, speaking with the Attorney General of California, or not the Attorney General, speaking with my local representative and trying to get a hold of the Attorney General in California and file a complaint, I am now seeking that an investigation into UDates' practices and business operation be investigated. Why, you may ask? False pretenses, fraudulent means. If anyone had if they were being traded on Wall Street and stuff like that, and they're a shareholder, this is very serious, as they are falsely claiming the amount of people on their website. 2, this website has been a pay-for-play. They lure you in. They don't want you to send a phone number or talk to somebody. They want to go ahead and force you to pay all this money for all these supposed virtual coins. There's just a problem with the virtual coins. They keep doing it on purpose, even when you try to. Versus, say, Zeus and Match, they allow you to. They do this under the guise of New Jersey law, which is a load of crap because if they can't pick up, then maybe it's time we get our hands to go ahead and shut down UDates. This app and this website has to be shut down. It's a false website. You have people in India catfishing Americans and Canadians and other countries abroad. And this is a very big and dangerous scam. It is basically to take you out of your money. It is fraudulent. And in the process, I have yet to hear anyone saying that they got a date on UDates. Now, UDates has been getting bad reviews, but reason why I'm escalating this is not because of bad reviews. I'm escalating it because they believe they're involved in criminal operations, tricking people into doing this. Now, I know you're probably wondering, why haven't I covered the topic of guns, Johnny Depp and Amber Turd? Why haven't I talked about the whole school shooting? Well, I haven't really talked about it, and I'll be serious. I've did videos, but I don't know how to respond without being too, oh my gosh, over the top. But I'll just give it to you straight. They're not going to go ahead. Americans are not going to give up their guns without a fight. The gun control laws won't pass the Senate. They're going to die. The ones proposed. Red flag laws violate due process because it's based on hearsay. And in America, we have a right to attorney. 2, why the new gun laws won't work? Criminals never follow the law. And because attorney generals have kept letting all these violent criminals out and they're shooting up places, now the media is focusing on urban areas where gun shootings are going off, and they're beginning to realize, well, we have to call these mass shootings instead of gang shootings. Notice they start to pay attention. And it cracks me up. If they've been letting repeat offenders who have committed crimes before out of jail and put the American public in danger, then these DAs and judges must be prosecuted and thrown in jail for violation and not keeping people safe. They knowingly did this. Now everyone's like, well, about the Uvalde shooting, how could you? I don't care about Matthew McConaughey and all these people talking about we got to get guns. Here's the thing. I challenge all you politicians, all you celebrities, before you tell me to take away that I shouldn't have a gun, I challenge you to give up your security. And you could probably start now. Oh, you don't like giving up your security? Well, understand there's a reason why I don't like giving up my gun. Because I know for a fact when Americans have guns, we don't get thrown in camps like what happened to the people who were victims of the Nazis. Or the people of Australia who refused to get the vaccine. I know, you're going to sit there. They're trying to do it in Canada, and there's been a massive buy of guns. And I think the Canadians are bracing for war. They don't trust Justin Trudeau. And I'm not here to be sarcastic, funny, or, ever would I ever say, commit an act of violence or violate the law. No, never going to say that. I am going to say I'm seeing stuff right now, and it ain't looking good. No people about to go down and fight. It looked like it's going to be a civil war. Because we have a president constantly saying in our ear, to our faces, not just by words, but with actions, no constitutional amendment is absolute. Not only has he tried to take away guns, but he tried to create a government-funded board to go ahead and censor American citizens. Wow. And to all those purple-haired morons, Trump was a Nazi. Dude, actions speak louder. When the government is talking about government-sponsored censorship, I think, especially with this administration, we have a serious problem. This administration is full of Nazis, which brings up the question, is this possible that this is the remnants of what was trying to be contrived after the Third Reich, a supposed Fourth Reich, which buries itself as both communist and socialist to the idiots until they get to power, and then they made such idiots disappear. Yes, Stalin had a thing called useful idiots. Anyway, things in the local elections are not looking good for Dems, especially here in California, as many people are tired of it. And they are voting en masse. And progressive Democrats are getting ratioed. There's a good chance that the Republicans are going to take over. Because as a Californian who's lived in California, some of us conservatives haven't quite left. We're still here, and we're growing numbers fairly easy. To those in the other states, you may want to start talking to your leaders about, sanctioning, California officials that try to make laws like SB 866 and all that, who violate First Amendment rights. Start sanctioning their businesses and their homes, because it's not going to change. And I know I'm going to say, well, you could always just move out. I'm like, dude, they're going to spread to your state. You need to get your state to go after them. If they can make laws in California to sue gun manufacturers, then other states need to make laws against, red states need to make laws against blue state politicians that says, hey, they can go after the politicians' money and finances when they make bad policy. I'm just saying, get it back to their feet to where they're going to have to do their job. It was interesting, and I thank God for the attorneys who were in district attorneys in L.A. for suing Gascon. George Soros is about to get his just desserts, but that's not for me to do. But the thing is, Gascon has lost the lawsuit. He could face criminal charges for not doing his job. He thought, I don't have to prosecute these people the full law. He put the public in danger. And as a California resident, I'm considering, because I did vote, I will go ahead and put an election or a new initiative, get people to sign on a petition stating that any district attorney that does not fully prosecute violent offenders to the full extent of the law, right, can actually be thrown in jails themselves. And if caught violating, not filling the legislative role, what they were supposed to do to carry out the laws, can be thrown in prison if it violates safety of the California public. They're only now using inner city streets and shootings in inner cities. They're trying to use it as consider the mass shootings instead of gang shootings. Which, if they really cared and put in the same amount of effort about, oh my God, we got to stop the shootings at schools, like they did maybe the shootings in the streets of Chicago, maybe Chicago wouldn't be more dangerous than Mexico City, Mexico. But we'll never know because the Dems won't ever do anything they say they're going to do except try to strip you of your rights. And yes, they have. So this is going to be an interesting year. The progressive Dems, not all the Dems are bad, but the progressive insane ones want to take away our rights. And let it be known, Joe Biden did not stutter. He said, no constitutional amendment is absolute. That puts all of us in danger. His job was to uphold the Constitution. He took that oath. And it's getting even worse that we're letting politicians dictate how law and court proceedings. The 1-6 Commission is turning out to be nothing more than a sham. They're not providing evidence of how the so-called people that they have accused or supposedly have been considered in what we call the 1-6 insurrection, the supposedly the insurrection of 1-6. They're not producing the evidence, and it's hard for the Americans to really care about the 1-6 insurrection when when gas is extremely high, when we are looking at starvation. We don't care that some people ran into Congress. Maybe if you guys gave a darn about the American public and stopped thinking about your own financial wallets, we would care what you were thinking, but we don't. Crime is at an all-time high. You can't just leave our borders open. Everyone's like, well, how dare you get mad about people crossing the border illegally? That's their right. No, it's not. Why can't they, why would you go and enter someone's house through the wall when it's okay to enter through the door? We as Americans have a right to have a secure border. Mexico has a secure border for down south. Can't we have a secure border? It's nothing against Mexico or all the people are bad. It's just if they're good, they can easily go through the front door. They've got no criminal record. There's no reason why they can't come in through the front door instead of coming through the wall. And if we have to put up a wall, that's fine. It stops the cartel from trading back and forth because they meet resistance. It makes it hard for them. And when they meet this resistance, it really makes it better for the people of Mexico because they're not getting killed or kidnapped or sold into human prostitution. That's what the cartels are involved in, human trafficking. And no, I'm not going to sit there and say, turn a blind eye to it because it's what's going on. If we want to help Mexico, we have to build the wall and cut the cartel where it hurts. This presidency was spent so much money on providing crack pipes to drug addicts, homeless drug addicts, versus getting ready for a formula and food disaster. Now we're running out of food, baby formula. And still, this administration doesn't understand. But with the sheer grace of God, and thank God for voting, which, trust me, don't take that right for advantage. You get your butt over there, read a book, get informed about your politicians, and vote. Now, I voted in California Republican all the way. I want the Dems to feel the pain. I want them to feel fear because they will know that they can't just get this and walk in a park. I'm not going to make it easy for them to have their job and just sit on their butts. I am going to make it to where oh, wow, we almost lost. We almost lost. So they know that they can't be doing the same dumb, evil things. Now, I'm not doing this because, oh, I'm a Republican all the way. There's going to be a time where the Republicans are going to turn bad, probably end up voting Democrat or independent. But right now, the Dems went full extreme left to the point to where those of us who are in the middle, who are just like a huge amount of the center, right, became the enemy. And we're like, you know what? Looks like the Trump group over there, they got a barbecue and they're offering us ribs. You know what? We'll go join them because they're not trying to attack us. That's what happened. As Elon Musk put it in that beautiful drawing on Twitter he posted, that's what happened. And because of the situation with UDates being very similar to that of Elon Musk, I have gone out of my way, contacted my local representative, and will be then contacting the California Attorney General, and then going out of my way to shut down UDates. Hopefully I can push legislation that basically goes after any company in America that uses India as a telecom service, and if those telecom service centers that are used by Amazon, all that, happen to be bases of operations where fraud scams have been going on, Amazon, Verizon, they all get charged hefty fines. And that means they're going to have to shut down those call centers in India and move them out of there. And the reason why I want to do that is so that the scammers in India, it costs them. And then their pictures of their CEO and bosses are internationally known as criminals. And when they fly to another country for the crimes they committed against citizens in those countries, they can be easily arrested. Finally put an end to this. Now, I love India. India's got some good people, but the call centers are the problem. And if we could take these Indian call centers down and we just stop having call centers in India so it's punished enough, then we'll have saved and stop Medicare fraud centers. We'll stop a lot of it. Once they go down, everything else should go back to normal. We don't have to worry about checking up on grandma or grandpa or our parents, making sure they didn't get scammed. My favorite is the Nigerian scammers trying to pull their Nigerian stuff. And I had one try and contacting me. So I typed in there, "Thank you for contacting the APC. We'll be coming by to pick you up," which is the governing party of Nigeria. And Nigeria doesn't have princes. They have a dictator. They have a authority that overthrew the kingdom. So once I start claiming to be part of the APC, just watch. If they're truly from Nigeria, they're freaking out. If they're not from Nigeria, it's probably some white guy from Boston trying to rip you off. But like I said, the supposed Nigerian scammers, they give Nigerians bad names. And it's one of those things where we as the people have to do something about it. I'm going after UDates to shut them down. It has nothing to do with a bad review or any of that. I just feel that if they're going to be running this operation, they better allow us to connect with one another. And the fact is, I noticed that when I never put my picture down, I got all these girls hitting me up. That was suspicious. I have no information. Granted, women like a guy a mystery, but not so much mystery where they don't know what he looks like. I mean, woo! Who knew that would happen? And it's just one of those. Yeah, I'm walking around my house. I know most of you are going to get dizzy and be like, what's he doing? I'm walking around. It's still hot. But anyway, you have a good day. Like, share, subscribe. Be good, be kind, do good, do nice, don't be a douchebag. Take care of people. And most of all, most importantly, don't commit any crime. Don't do any acts of violence. If you're mad at the government, you can protest through complaints, voting, and other legal forums. Those are your rights. Use them before President Biden takes them away. It's scary. Anyway, thank you and have a good day.